Hey YouTube family, how are you guys doing today? Hope you're all doing well. How about another episode of you and I checking out gear in my basement? Let me show you what's going on. All right, so this is my pedal board, and if you guys have followed the little series of me building this thing, you know all about it. So basically I'm running 2 amps, not really stereo, one dry and one kind of wet. So wet meaning all these effects pedals go through my Quilter Superblock UK, and once I go in my wireless tuner, EQ compressor, it goes to the JHS ABY and it goes directly to this one. So the Quilter Superblock US doesn't have any of these effects. It just has the first 3, but none of the drives, no like delay, and no boost. So so that's basically my my setup. Now, but today we're going to focus on these 2 pedals. So I always like 2 drives on my pedal board. I like having one kind of lighter drive, for some rock and roll and even some country, just to get some grit. And then I like kind of a heavy, not a high gain pedal, but kind of a good, hard rockin' pedal. And this Tumnus Deluxe really, really works. So I've had these 2 pedals for a long time. Now, last week I was asked to fill in for another band. And so I went in, I played a gig with them, and this pedal board is just too big when it's not my own band, because I need 2 separate channels here. I need 2 line outs at the board. They need to be set. This one a little quieter. This one's just in the background. It's like my clean amp. This one's in the foreground. And when people don't really know, what you're doing, it's kind of confusing. So then I end up just, unplugging my amp, from the pedal board, and then just running it line and just running my pedal board with just a single amp to a speaker cab. And so I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just going to build another pedal board, very simple. But I really like the tones I'm getting with this. So especially with the pedals, because I've been through a ton of pedals in my day, and I finally have 2 that I really like. So I thought, you know what? Let's buy a pedal and see how close we can get these 2. Because these pedals here in Canada are like ridiculously expensive. This Clarksdale, after taxes, is not far off of $300. You're looking at $260 some after taxes. And this Tumnus is the same. So I'm not spending close to $600 to buy these 2 identical pedals again for my second pedal board. So what I did instead, on Amazon, there was a special on, and I bought this. Ta-da! So this is the Paisley Drive Deluxe. So yes, the famous country artist Brad Paisley. So this is based on the left side, the Paisley Drive, and on the right side, the Underdog, which is a limited edition pedal that they don't make anymore, unless you get this pedal. So Amazon had these on with a special, and it was just under $300 for, basically 2 pedals in one. So for a Wampler pedal here in Canada, that's pretty cheap for a brand new pedal. So I looked on Reverb, I looked on used, and even used one was about the same price. And then I had to pay shipping, but with Amazon, I could get free shipping. And obviously I have a 1-month trial period, and I can return it if I don't like it. So I'm wondering if I can get similar tones to the Clarksdale with the Paisley Drive, and I'm wondering if I can get similar tones to the Tumnus with the Underdog. And if so, I might just put this pedal right here on my board and get rid of these 2, and I'll use these 2 pedals on my small board where they used to be to begin with, before I built this big kind of monster board. So yeah, so let's check out these 4 pedals. All right, so let's do some tone testing here. So this is my clean sound, no effects, no reverb, no delay, just Telecaster, of course, bridge pickup, full tone, full volume, and here's the clean sound. Clarksdale. Everything's at 12 o'clock on both pedals. Just as a starting point. This might be way too loud. I may have to dial it down. Excuse my toe. But every once in a while, my toe will be in the picture or my finger. All right. So that's 12 o'clock on the Clarksdale. So let's just do a familiar riff. So clean. All right, let's go to the Paisley side of the Paisley Deluxe. Oh, a lot louder. So to match that output, let's see, to get unity gain with the Paisley, the level would have to be probably about there. Maybe a little more. There we go. All right. And the Wampler would have to be a lot louder. Sorry, I said Wampler, I meant Clarksdale. Clarksdale needs to be quite a bit louder. Oh, too much. Pretty close. Right, let me move this out of the way so I can just stomp on it. All right. So here's the different pedals set the same except for the volume, of course. They are pretty similar, the Wampler Clarksdale and the Paisley Drive. I think the Clarksdale is a little brighter maybe, but probably because it has, you know, a separate mid and treble dub, whereas on this side the pedal only has a tone. So what if I just crank the tone just a bit, and we'll try that. Paisley Drive is still a little bit darker, I think. Now, there's a voicing switch on the Paisley Drive that the Clarksdale doesn't have. So, if I push this in, it kind of scoops the mids. So, now we have this. It's like thicker, as opposed to So yeah. Those are pretty friggin' similar. I don't know what you're hearing on video, but here in the room, wow, they are close at those settings. So, just for fun, let's shut this off. Let's crank the gain, like full gain. And again, I'll put the tone in the middle. And I'll probably need to lower this volume quite a bit. Not too bad. Okay, let's do the same. See if there's a difference now. Interesting. So I didn't really have to adjust the volume knob for all the added gain on both pedals. All right, so Clarksdale, full gain, we get this. Switch in. All right, let's bring that back down. And we'll jump to the other two pedals. So like I was saying, the goal is to remove these two pedals from my board and just use this one, but still have, you know, a lighter overdrive and a higher gain pedal. So let's compare the Tumnus and the Paisley Drive Deluxe. All right, so ooh, that's way louder. Let's bring this level down. Still a little bit loud. All right, so here's what we have with the Tumnus. Clean. Here's what we have with the Paisley Drive. Again, extremely close. So, which is good for me because I like the sound that I'm getting with these two pedals. So if I can get rid of, you know, a patch cord or two and, you know, a power supply and just have this one on my board, it'll clean it up a little bit and I can still get the nice tones. Let's do full on gain. So Tumnus, full gain. This one I'm going to have to lower the volume. All right, so, and let's full on gain this one. Probably have to lower the volume. The circuits in these two are very similar, and the circuits in this side and on the Clarksdale seem very similar as well. All right, so here is the tumnus. Here's the Paisley. So the Paisley seems a little darker, but again, there's a fat switch. I can push that in, and I think it bumps the mids. So firstly, we had and with the fat switch engage, we have very, very similar voicings. Wow, that's crazy. That's good. That's good. I can work with that. So now, one thing I always do with the tumnus and the Clarksdale is sometimes I stack them, but they're never set full gain like that. So let's go back to mid-range overdrive. And I believe with this one, middle gain, this one needed to be over here. And the level for this will probably be about here. And this level needed to be down a bit. So we'll just put half gain. And this one will drop down to half gain as well. I'll leave that fat switch engaged. And I'll bump the voicing out because it sounded, with the voicing out, it sounds more like the Clarksdale. And the level for this one, I think it's roughly the same as the tumnus, so right about there. All right, so let's try these pedals stacked. So clean, we have this, stacked. Maybe so the tumnus is midier for sure, but with this switch engaged, the Paisley is pretty close. Well, there you have it. I know this is a Paisley Drive Deluxe, but really the tumnus and the channel 1 side are very similar, and especially with the fat switch in, and then the Clarksdale and the drive side are very similar, especially with the voicing switch out. I don't know which combination is better, but I like the idea of just having one pedal. Now I can wire these up so that they're just like two individual pedals, kind of like this. But I don't know if that makes a difference, so maybe we should try that. Okay, so now these are wired as two separate pedals. So you have the switch here in the middle is where it says separate up top, and then you have, so my guitar signal is going into channel 1. It's coming out of channel 1 over here into channel 2, and then it's coming out of channel 2 over here into the amp. So you have channel 1, channel 2 input, channel 1, channel 2 output. So if you were a pedal, you'd be going in and out, right? So channel 1 in, channel 1 out, into the next pedal, which is channel 2, and then channel 2 to the amp. All right, so here is switched, and we'll play a familiar tune, little ZZ Top. I think it was a little gainier, like just as the one pedal, as opposed to set up as two individual pedals. Anyway, let me know what you think on that. Oh, so phone died, so I had to plug it in. So yeah, it died at the right time, I guess. So I think those pedals are pretty similar. Paisley Deluxe with the Clarksdale and the Tumnus with the Underdog. You can get a lot of the similar tones, and stacked as well. I think you can, if you play with the EQ, now granted, I didn't play with the EQ at all. We kind of just left everything well enough alone, just, for the sake of testing the two pedals. But I think if you go Wampler, you can't go wrong. Like, they make good pedals, right? So I'm going to try putting the Paisley Deluxe on my pedal board for a while and have a couple of gigs, see how that goes. And then maybe I'll just swap them out and put the other two pedal back on, the Clarksdale and the Tumnus, and then make a decision. But see what the boys in the band think as well, and with your comments too. Maybe you guys have tried this stuff. Maybe you have one of these Paisleys, and you can give me your thoughts on it. But I like, initially, I like what I hear, and that's with no tweaking of the EQs. So I think it's pretty good. Anyway, guys, thanks for following me on this. Let me know what you think, and you guys take care, and God bless. Until next time.